Hello, hello, hello. I am back and we're gonna do a get ready with me style video. I'm gonna do this eye look with these palettes from Oden's Eye. Let's go. Okay, beauties, as you heard in the intro, we're gonna do a get ready with me style type of a video. As you can see, I'm back home and we're gonna use these palettes. And we're going to talk a little bit about Oden's Eye, the new releases from Oden's Eye. Am I picking them up? What should I do? All that good stuff. Let me start with using this Glam Light Icing. So this is in the color Buttercream, if you were wondering. Actually, this isn't the most favorite primer that I have, but it was the one that was closest to reach. So, hey, we're going to use it. I already posted a video last night and it went up pretty fast. It took 2 hours to go up, so it tells me that the technical difficulties are removed. Fantastic news, which means that I can upload more things faster because that whole issue was just not good. It took me one time a full 24 hours to upload something. Yeah, it just can't be like that anymore. As we know, there is a new Oden's Eye collab with Angelica Nyquist that has already released. I think it released yesterday from the day that I'm filming. And the two palettes look super cute and colorful and very Halloween-y. Amazing for this time of the year. Obviously, they're Halloween themed. And while I was debating whether I should pick anything from that collection, I realized that I have not even used these as much as I was hoping to use them. So I thought, you know what, instead of picking more stuff up, I'm just gonna use these a little more often. So I do have a review with all three of these palettes. In this channel, I do an eye look, I believe, with each of these palettes in that video. So if you're interested in just seeing my thoughts about this collection, because this collection is actually still available and you can purchase it from Oden's Eye, I will tag that video down below if you're wondering what my thoughts were and what eye looks I made with these palettes. You can check out that video. And I was thinking about doing something with a combination of these so that I make sure I'm not going to repeat anything similar to what I did before. So one thing that caught my attention was the combination of this blue, this beautiful blue up here, and maybe these two purples, and I thought I want to try that. So let's try with going into Azalea, this beautiful purple, and there is a huge amount of fall off. I'm going to bring this closer so that you can see. Can you see the fall off over there? Yeah, there's a whole lot of fall off. I remember having that issue when I originally used this palette too. I realized that this palette behaves a lot better when I swatch it with my fingers. So what I experience when I swatch it is not what I experience when I apply it with a brush. So just keep that in mind, because maybe you want to use your fingers to do your eye look. Yeah, I'm having kind of the same experience as I had. I don't know if you can see, but it's literally not building up at all. Yeah, and that's kind of disappointing because when I swatch it on my finger, you see what I get? Like on my finger, it sticks pretty well, but it just doesn't stay on the eye. And I also see gust of air as I'm moving this brush. Can you all see that? What that behavior tells me is that it is not sticky enough, because otherwise it wouldn't just go everywhere. It would stick to one place. And I'm not super happy about the pigmentation. I mean, it's pretty, but it could be more pigmented. I'm expecting to get that color, and I'm not getting that color. Can you see that? And in fact, I can see my skin color, and there's already a crease where my eyelids fold. I had the same experience when I used it the first time, which is part of the reason I haven't really used it or reached for it. Let's now go into this beautiful blue color. I'm using Singe Beauty number 5. The first brush I used was Singe Beauty number 4. And I'm going to deepen out this outer V area. I'm going to now pick E2. I feel like that one is a little too small for this. So beauties, I was debating about buying the new palettes. I went to the website late last night, so the bundle was already sold out. And the only option that was available was to either buy the palettes solo or to buy the green palette, the trick or treat palette with the ribbon. And I was not sure if I even wanted to buy that. And part of the reason for that is because I don't think I've used these three palettes enough time to really start thinking about buying more things from the same brand. I have started implementing this sort of rule for myself where I have to have used my last purchases from a brand enough times before justifying for myself to buy new things from that brand. I'm using another brush and I'm going to go back into the blue. This has a smaller head and I'm using it to go into all the tiny grooves. This blue color is beautiful and I'm relatively okay with the behavior. The mattes in these palettes really don't behave that well on me. I mean, I would not need to do so much blending with a Blend Bunny palette, and even with that, it is kind of patchy. I don't know why it's sticking in some places. I could imagine with a Blend Bunny or a Cosmic Brushes palette, some of these issues would not exist. Now, I do want to mention that just because I didn't have the best of experience does not mean you're not going to have the best experience. I'm going to go with a flat brush into the same color and do my lower lash line. We all have different eye shape, skin texture, age, skin hydration, all kinds of things. The eye primers that I use probably behave different on me than they would behave on you. Similarly with powders and shimmers. So just because these behaved a certain way on me doesn't mean they're going to behave the same on you. I do want to mention that because I don't want people to think that I'm saying this brand isn't a good brand. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are really enjoying the same products that are not working very well on me. I do have hooded eyes, so it's difficult to really make sure everything works well. You know what I want to do? I want to pick a round brush like this. This is from Blend Bunny. This is number B5. And I'm gonna go into this color, Orchid. Let me actually tap this. You see how much color falls off? It has a lot of fall off, like way more than is normal. I mean, I have a lot of palettes that have a lot of fall off, but I feel like this one is just way too powdery. I can imagine this is probably how people felt when they got Subculture. You all remember the whole disaster with Subculture. Now, I never had any issues with the Subculture that I purchased, but the main disaster about it was that it was very powdery, and I wonder if people felt this, and I can now understand how they felt. I'm putting this color here, and I'm going to use it to blend purple into this blue a little bit. I'm doing this with the hope to remove the patchiness. And I think I kind of succeeded at doing that. Let me now use a fluffy brush like this. This is from BH, one of their releases from years ago. And I just want to blend these edges to make sure it's blended into my skin. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to bring my eye closer. Oh, before everything, beauties. Look at my nails. They're very Halloweeny. And they have a little spider. Super, super cute. Actually, I think I should hold it like this. You can see, you know, the purple kind of is fading off. Like this isn't a color that's going to last for a long time. I can see my skin from under it. Can you see that line in the crease of my eye? I'm now going to use a little bit of NYX's glitter primer. So what I decided doing for these Helaween palette collection was to opt out of buying it so that I can put some more time at using the palettes that I already have and I'm not reaching out to that much, and also to dupe the Helaween palettes. I'm going to go into this beautiful, beautiful shimmery purple. This is like a very nice lavender color. And I'm going to put this over the tacky base. I want to save the money instead of buying from the same brands to try some of the brands that I wanted to try in 2023 that I haven't gotten to try. I have a video about brands that I want to try in 2023 that I made in 2022. I'll put that video in the description box below as well. If you're curious, you can watch that so you know which brands I was interested in trying this year. One of the brands that I wanted to try was Oden's Eye, and I'm thinking, okay, I already tried a collection from this brand, so I can now move on to other things. Also, I wanted to mention that when I did the purchasing of this collection, I mentioned this in the video where I did the eye looks and the review of these palettes, I did not have the best purchase experience. I was on the site for just way too long and the site crashed, but it didn't crash, so I didn't know if I'm in the line or not. It took like over a day for me to be able to get my hands on a palette. Yeah, it wasn't the best experience, so that's another thing. I'm gonna go into this Sea Spray color, giving the brand some time to improve or do things differently, and then I'll come back to it maybe in a little bit. I'm putting this color obviously in my inner corner. Also, I am in a position where I want to do a little bit of downsizing of all of my makeup. Obviously, you can imagine that I have a lot of makeup. I have a lot of palettes. I have a lot of palettes that I haven't used. And I want to go through them, do a little bit of declutter. And I don't want to keep adding palettes to the list of the palettes that I have unless they serve a very particular purpose. And the palettes that would serve a particular purpose need to really bring new value to my collection in terms of either color story or in terms of maybe uniqueness of the shades or something like that. As much as I think the color stories of these two palettes are beautiful, and unfortunately I couldn't get my hands on the other things that released with the palettes, but I'm sure those are super exciting for whoever's going to receive them as well. They were not enticing enough for me to want to pay for them at this point, also adding to everything else that I mentioned. Okay, beauties, this kind of look is definitely much darker than I was expecting in the inner corner. I thought this blue is going to be much lighter than this, but I suppose it's okay. You all could have used maybe that color. That's a beautiful shimmer. Or let me see, was there any other color? Maybe the pink? Although the pink also looks dark. This is an issue I'm having with generally every palette under the sun, is that they are not doing enough light tones. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying this deep blue. I love blue. You know, I want to do a vampy type of lip. So how about using this? This is Energy Field, which is a matte from ColourPop. Let's do it. This is supposed to be the color. Beautiful lippy. I totally think that was the right call, and now I actually feel like the eye look doesn't look so bad. Even the blue in the inner corner is kind of diffused by the dark color of the lips. Overall, I'm loving the look. Let me know what you all are thinking about this look. I can't wait to hear if you're planning on picking the Helaween palette, either one or both palettes maybe. Maybe you've already picked it up. And I would love to hear your thoughts about that collection overall and Oden's Eye as a brand. Thank you, beauties, as always, for being here with me. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed already. I love you all. Have an amazing day, and until next time. Bye.